I went to the Witch Festival in Milton Keynes.
Is that the home of paganism?
No.
Are they pagans?
So, paganism, umbrella term.
I'm so glad you asked, buddy.
Do they like the roundabouts though, do you think?
Yeah, because that's their stone circle, is the roundabouts.
Ah.
So paganism is an umbrella term for like a variety of religions. So sort of like...
Are there a ton of roundabouts in Milton Keynes?
People keep saying that. I don't know about that.
I thought it was designed on a grid system.
Yeah, but with roundabouts.
Oh, okay. Transatlantic.
Ley line.
Bringing the benefits of American organisation with the insanity of the British road system.
It is really the posh English boy you meet that says party like party. That is what Milton Keynes
That's
is.
Milton Keynes.
Really? Oh, I just met the witches.
That's so funny.
So paganism, umbrella term for lots of different religions, and they can be as formal or as informal or as structured as you sort of want. Like you could declare yourself a pagan and go and worship the Norse gods by yourself, or you can be part of a more regimented thing. And being a witch or like Wicca is sort of one of those branches, and there are about 13,000 practicing witches in the UK. So it can be anything from you say you're a witch and you go and practice it by yourself, or you're part of like a group or a coven who like you all kind of worship together.
So what does practicing look like?
It can be lots of things. It can be a lot of it's like meditative, a lot of it's like communing sort of with nature. I met a woman who ran a spell workshop, and when she said, I was like, "What is a spell?" And she said,
Have you heard of Zach Polanski?
Zach was there. The woman had huge knockers. And it's sort of about like positive manifestation. Basically, that's what a spell is, and you do it with like burning sage and all this other stuff as well. What was interesting was just like in the olden days when witches didn't exist, but there were Christians there keeping an eye on things just in case they all sort of
observing the witches.
There was 4 people we saw,
and it was nice to see you in Milton Keynes that day.
I'm part of the delegation sent by Papao.
Yeah.
They were wearing like Jesus saves, the rapture is coming sort of t-shirts.
Do you ever just wonder, like, these guys, like, how do you even find out about this event?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, they've got to keep their ear close to the ground in case the witches are back. But so we spoke to the organizer of the festival.
The Lord just tell them?
Yeah, get the guests
like Jethro, Milton Keynes this weekend.
Well, only Papao is the year of the Lord.
Right, let's not get into the into which religion is right. These people weren't Catholics though, so
they sound evangelical.
Yeah,
sound second coming.
Oh, you're lot then, yeah.
I'm not evangelical.
Well,
God.
they would say that, wouldn't they?
Well,
I'm pretty evangelical in your denials.
I don't think that is true. I think evangelical is that you're very much, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. You can be saved.
And you are?
What am I? Broadly, vaguely christened at home.
Okay.
Christened at home?
Yeah. It's not really christened at all, probably.
Christened at home?
Yeah.
In your house?
Under the sink.
You're joking.
I'm not joking, but it was christened at home.
I don't actually know if it was under the sink. I just made that up.
It wasn't under the sink.
Dunk you in the toilet? What do you mean?
I was christened at home.
Presumably he brings holy water?
I don't really know how they did it, to be fair. I think they sort of did it so vaguely.
That is really Protestant. Do you know what? It's like, you lot, I mean, not famous for your faff and your frills, but that is real basic, isn't it? Like, that is like Asda price, like, we're not even going to like get dressed up for this. Do you know what I mean?
I wore a gown. Sorry, I don't know if I'm defending my christening. Anyway, back to the festival. But the previous year, there had been a group prayer organised by some churches in Milton Keynes to kind of defend Milton Keynes from witchcraft. And they like invaded the festival and like disrupted like tarot cards readings and stuff. And it's like nowhere near as
like Jesus flipping like the tables of the moneylenders.
Yeah, literally that. It was nowhere near as sinister as they maybe believed.
So what was one of your standout moments or favourite interactions?
There was plenty. I think there was a few standout moments. I met some people who consider themselves mediums.
Oh yeah.
And I asked one woman, actually have that clip.
Oh, clip.
A clip. Editing for Ben.
Wow.
Clip time.
I've got abilities. I have been gifted since I was 5 years old. So I've been very linked to nature and things like that. So for me, it's been a very easy path for me to come into. But a lot of people say that I'm a medium.
Right.
But I like to just call myself a natural spiritualist. Is somebody that connects, talks to spirits. I talk to the fae. I talk to dragon. I talk to a lot of different energies.
Have you ever communed with anyone Anyone famous from beyond the grave?
No.
Can you seek that out?
I think you can, but as I say to everyone, I think that you've got to be a pretty special person for like a famous person to come by. We're everyday average people. Why would Elvis Presley or somebody come and connect with us? But then again, we're fans, so it could be.
Is that who you would like to commune with?
Yeah, Elvis Presley, and I would like to get back I would love to get in contact with Michael Jackson. I'm a massive fan of him.
What would you ask Michael Jackson?
I'd say, like, how would he do things differently? How would he, like, have maintained his place to keep that fairy tales sort of side going? He was a great loss to the world as well, so...
I'm sure lots of people have lots of questions for him.
I interviewed Mario Itoje a couple of weeks ago, and when I asked him who his dream dinner party guest would be, he said Michael Jackson.
Did he?
He did.
And we're letting that man captain the line.
How old would he have been there at that dinner?
Young enough.
That's a great point, actually. If you're resurrecting someone to sit at your...
Oh, you're getting like
You're
Ben
gonna-
singing Michael Jackson.
like,
Jackson 5 era.
if you're resurrecting someone, are you getting them, like, peak artistic performance? Are you getting them 20 years in the ground? Are they a bit decayed? Because he said to entertain everyone. So,
A, B, C.
Yeah.
Easy
Oh, you think,
one.
like, kid Michael
That's the
Jackson.
only safe one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go before accusations, haven't you?
Yeah. I think you've got to go Jackson 5.
Anyway, I think because he then wanted to walk it back, because in his head he was like, oh, that could be a bit controversial. He was like, oh, no, actually, maybe Boys to Men.
Keeping on theme.
Yeah, why Michael
Oh.
Jackson?
Why Michael Jackson? She just seemed to want to ask him for advice about what he would do in this situation.
I don't get why people revere him so much.
It is a...
He was pretty good though, wasn't he?
It was good.
He had
but
some good
what
songs.
about all the other
Come
stuff?
on.
He had some good hits.
What about all the other stuff? I also met a man who runs a ghost hunting TV channel
Oh, no.
that he started because he thought YouTube was too oversaturated, and so he runs it's called Ghost Planet Network, and it's available on Roku. Which I thought was an interesting kind of strategy in this kind of new media age.
You know who used to be on Most Haunted is the now Reform chairman.
Yes, he is. David Bowie did that story about like battering Derek Ankara or something, or
Derek Acora.
Akora, excuse me, Ankara.
We did sponsored content with him once.
David Bowie.
No, Acora.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Ireland.
I don't really know who he is.
I think he's like the Irish version.
David Bowie.
Of David Bowie.
It was like he presented shows like that, and he did we did a thing where he's like trying to lift the Mayo curse. It's quite funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
I think what I wanted to do when I met the witches, kind of see what brought them together, because they're all sort of like, it's interesting, isn't it? And like sort of we talk about the age of loneliness, and there's people doing things like this which people consider eccentric,
Yeah.
whatever, and they're all coming together to kind of celebrate. And it was sort of like there's a real contrast between, it was in the grounds of a sport and social club in Milton Keynes, and so like the members of that club were there just having a pint in the garden, and then people like covens were doing dances just meters away. So I think it was a good bit of content.
And so what does bring them together?
I think they're looking for sort of shared experiences and to learn from each other about the practices. About one woman said, one organizer, Victoria, said, we're just women who like meditating and burning sage. And so it's like seeking shared interest with each other, just sort of with like a fancier exterior.
I enjoy a meditation every now and again. Can't say I've ever burnt sage, so I don't know whether that's a restorative thing.
There was two guys there, like real like geezers, and they looked quite out of place because a lot of the vendors were like selling spell books or doing tarot, whatever.
Well, you can't be a geezer who enjoys a spell book.
Well, that's why I was curious. I said,
Were they wizards?
Are you guys witches? And they were like, no. And they were selling plants. They're like, we just sensed a business opportunity.
That's good.
Just two guys in like cargo shorts and polos.
Well, when it's the bitch convention, then I'll see you there.
What is the male equivalent of a witch or wizard?
Why are you asking me?
I think it's a warlock.
Closing the warlock.
I think they
Sorry, forgive me.
But then also, I
Forgive
think it's sort of a gender neutral term at this point.
Where can people watch it?
You can watch that on joe.co.uk YouTube channel, and there's some clips on the joe.co.uk Instagram as well. If you fancy a flavour.